when individuals start to refer to other, or MPs start to refer to other MPs as agents of Beijing. So I'm still waiting for that patiently. I have yet to see it. I note that Mr. Calkins hasn't contributed to the meeting pretty much since that day he shot that video, or the day after, and I hope that he will soon be here to be able to address that. You know, it's true, Madam Speaker, I don't think it's going to come as a surprise to anybody that the Liberal members on this committee are filibustering this committee because we don't believe that the appropriateness of, we don't believe in the appropriateness of this of this motion. And that's why we're doing this, because we don't think it's right to be calling on staff, political staff, before committee. We don't call political staff to question period, do we? Or political staff asked to answer questions in question period? No, they're not. The accountability lays with the minister. And the accountability and the ministers are willing to appear before committee. We've already had a couple come before this committee. It's their job to speak on behalf of committee. So when I say that we are intentionally delaying this, it's because we're trying to ensure that ministers remain accountable. And I would say, I'm just trying to be consistent, Madam Chair. I'm just trying to be consistent, not with our side of the table. I'm trying to be consistent with the Conservative side of the table. Let me read to you something, Madam Speaker, Madam Chair. These are the words of Pierre Poilievre. He said, you do know him, and listen to what he had to say. He said, quote, "The reality is that Mr. Sudas, who was the Director of Communications for the Prime Minister's office at the time, is not going to be testifying anyway because of a tiny little inconvenient problem that the coalition parties have, which is this 300-year-old concept of ministerial accountability, meaning that ministers answer questions on behalf of the government, not staff. We're not going to be changing 300 years of history all of a sudden at the behest of the coalition parties. We're not going to have the staff members appear in question period to answer on behalf of the government. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way, the way it's always been done right up until the last several months. We're going to keep ministers, the guys in charge, responsible for their duties." End quote. Those were the words of Pierre Poilievre when he was the minister on CBC June 4th, 2010, explaining to Canadians why it is inappropriate to be calling staff before committee.